I suddenly saw a man hitting his wife. He noticed me watching and glared.
The hell you want, asshole?
Furious that I didn't look away. I just stared back without expression. Within seconds, he broke eye contact and muttered an apology.
I'm just having a bad day. Won't happen again.
I ended the stare and walked into the restaurant. But just as I was about to take a bite of dessert, 2 police cars screeched outside. The officers moved like they were ready for a fight. I looked around. Only a few old folks and 2 kids playing nearby. That's when I realized they were here for me. Without hesitation, I put down my fork, paid the bill, and placed both hands flat on the table. The next second, 2 armed officers burst through the door. As a retired Army colonel, taking them down would have been too easy, but I stayed silent and raised my hands. I needed to understand what was going on first. They took me to the station. During the questioning, I still said nothing, only scanned the room. My silence annoyed the officers. Then a detective stepped in and explained. Last night, there was a murder by the highway. 2 bullets to the back of the victim's head. No shell casings found. The victim was also beaten after death, then covered with cardboard. This morning, someone saw a stranger, me, near the scene. That's why they arrested me. At that point, I had to speak.
Because I didn't kill anybody. At least not recently.
Using the clues he gave, I analyzed everything. There were 3 people involved. First, a professional shooter who used the right gun and a silencer, killed quietly and removed the casings. Second, a mentally unhinged brute who beat a corpse senseless, clearly different from the shooter. Third, someone who covered the body with cardboard, too careless for the shooter, too thoughtful for the brute, so likely a timid third person. The detective was speechless at my breakdown, but he still questioned why I was near the crime scene. I told him I was in town to honor a blues singer who died here, not enough to erase suspicion, so until the case clears, I had to stay locked up. Soon they found new evidence. A note with a phone number in the victim's shoe. The number led to a man named Paul, a senior bank manager. At first, Paul was calm, claiming he knew nothing. But when he saw a car outside, he panicked. Then he confessed, said he was the killer, and begged to be taken in. The detective sensed something off and began to test him.
So you expect me to believe that you, a man with no criminal record, that you just blew a man away? A double-barrel shotgun blast right to the face.
And that's all I'm gonna say about it.
And then burnt the body.
Yes, I did.
It became clear. Paul didn't know the crime process at all, yet claimed guilt. The man was lying, but he definitely knew something. So the detective brought him back, and I crossed paths with him. From that moment, I noticed something, but stayed silent. They released me, but before I could leave, the detective stopped me. He wanted my help analyzing the case. I ignored him until he accused Paul of covering for me. That hit a nerve, so I told him, "Check Officer Stephen." When Paul walked in, he and Stephen made eye contact for 2 seconds. They were hiding something. The detective brought us face to face, and the truth came out. Stephen and Paul were cousins. They partied at home until 2 a.m. that night. Paul was too drunk to go anywhere, so why did he confess? The detective had a plan.
Maybe a weekend in lockup will motivate him. Let me know what he says.
Before I could react, he handcuffed me